Okay, today we're going to be playing Mathematics by Spawn. Now this is an auto level, so surely this should be easy to complete, right? About that, not really. Uh, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to prepare in order to beat this. Now, I have cheated a bit. I watched a video to see all the math problems that we have to solve in order to beat this level. So we're gonna go solve those math problems now, and then we're gonna be able to beat this level. Yeah, let's just hop right into solving those math problems. Okay, so here we are at a place where we can draw, and so we can actually do the math. So yeah, as you can see. Yeah. Anyway, let's get started. So, the first question is very simple. It starts out very basic. It's 9 minus 4, which we can just with basic mental arithmetic figure out is equal to 5. Not very complicated there, but it gets a lot harder later on. So, the second question, well, that's just 9 times 4. Uh, I apologize for my absolutely horrible writing. I'm not very used to using this. I can make a ton of excuses if I want to, but that's not going to be productive. So anyway, 9 times 4, which is not that difficult to just calculate, comes out to 36. So far, so good, right? Question number 3, also not that hard. It's 5 to the third power, which most of us probably know is the same thing as 5 times 5 times 5, which you could probably calculate is equal to 125. So yeah, but it gets worse. Let's go on to question number 4. Now we have 24 times 250, which is not that trivial. I could probably do this in my head, but let's do this more properly. So we have 250 multiplied 24. As I've said, I'm very sloppy, so you'll have to forgive me. So basically how this works is that you just multiply the numbers that intersect at these columns. So for example, this is 2 times 2, which is 4. This is 5 times 2, so it's 10. This is 0 times 2, 0 times 4. Um, 5 times 4, and 2 times 4. So yeah, so now you just add these you just add together these diagonal columns. So this 0, 0, I mean, just check. Yeah, this is an 8. I'm difficult to see. So yeah, this is a 10. So you write 0 and then you carry the 1, and then 4, 5, 6. So 6. So therefore, 20. So therefore, 24 times 250 is equal to 6,000. That's question 4, and you only get worse. Question 5. Um, Then we have to solve a quadratic. X squared minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Find, not m, find x. So, now we're gonna have to use a quadratic formula. And in my country, we learned this quadratic formula. I think it's different in some countries, but we learn that we have, and wherever we have x squared plus px plus q is equal to 0, then it follows that x is equal to negative p over 2 plus minus the square root of p over 2 squared minus q. And given that we have x squared minus 4x minus, not plus, minus 5, this gives us values. P as negative 4 and q as -5. So let's put them into the formula, and we get x is equal to -4 over 2 plus or minus the square root of -4 over 2. That should be squared minus -5, which we can evaluate here is to say x is equal to -4 over 2 is going to end up being +2. Then we go back and see this entire thing comes out to -2 squared, which is 4, and this comes out to +5. So under the square root we get square root of 4 plus 5. This is the same thing as 2 plus minus the square root of 9, which is to say 2 plus minus the square root of, not the square root, 2 plus minus 3, because the square root of 9 is 3. And so the answers are x is equal to 2 plus 3, which is 5, and x is equal to 2 minus 3, which is -1. And you order them the other way, so x equals -1, and x equals 5. So yeah, that's just question number 5, and we're already getting into this. Okay, so question number 6 is we have x to the 4th power equals 1, and then x is equal to what? Now, x to the 4th power, so you can see here, there are 4, so we will have 4 roots to this if we consider both the real and the imaginary numbers. And in fact, if you take this will evaluate to take the 4th root of x to the 4th, it's going to equal to the 4th root of 1, and so x is equal to the 4th root of 1, and in fact the 4th root of 1 has 4 roots. It could be 1, it could be -1, it could be I, where obviously I is the imaginary unit, i.e. equals to the square root of -1, or it could be equal to -I. So yeah, the answer to question number 6 should be 1, -1, I, and -1. And negative I mean. Yeah. 1, -1, I, and -I. And now let's continue on to question number 7. Question number 7 is also complex numbers. It's 2 plus 3i, in parentheses, squared, is equal to what? Now this isn't that complicated. We know 2 is 2, obviously. So let's just evaluate 3i squared, which is the same thing as 3 squared times I squared. And given that we know that I is equal to the square root of -1, then per definition, I squared is equal to -1. And so this is equal to 3 squared times -1, and 3 squared is 9, so 9 times -1 is equal to -9. So we get 2 plus -9, i.e. 2 minus 9, i.e. -7. So the answer to question number 7 is -7. And so that was question number 7. Now, we get to question number 8, which is to find the limit. Yeah, we're already doing calculus. As x goes to 4 of x squared minus 9x plus 20 over x minus 4. Now, here's the issue, right? You cannot just plug in 4, because, and let's see why. Let's plug in 4. with x equals 4, that gives us 4 squared minus 9 times 4 plus 20 over 4 minus 4. Now this is going to come out to 0 divided by 0, and you can't have 0 divided by 0. That being said, the fact that we have 0 divided by 0 means we can use something called L'Hopital's rule. I cannot write basically L'Hopital's rule, which states that in the case that we get an indeterminate form for a limit, i.e. 0 divided by 0, then in order to find a limit, where now we have 0 divided by 0, what we do is we differentiate both the numerator and the denominator, and then we take the limit out of that. So we have the limit is x equals to 4, obviously, of x squared minus x squared minus 9x plus 20. This went down 9x plus 20 over x minus 4. So what we have to do now is we have to take the derivative of this in order to find the rule. So we take the limit as x goes to 4, and we take d of dx x squared minus 9x plus 20. And this isn't an awfully difficult derivative. Over derivative of x minus 4. Because this is just going to be the limit. Don't forget to write let's just write our limit as x goes to 4 of x squared has derivative 2x minus 9x, which is the derivative of 9, plus 20, which is just 0. So 2x minus 9 is the derivative. And then on the bottom, we have x minus 4, which is just the derivative of 1. And the 4 parts, this is a constant, so the derivative is 0. So this is going to be our next expression. So we need to find the limit as x goes to 4 of 2x minus 9 over 1. Now this isn't that difficult. Because now we can actually plug in 4. So so we can set x is equal to 4. So we get 2 times 4 minus 9 over 1, which comes out to negative 1. And so the limit as x goes to 4 of x squared minus 9x plus 20 over x minus 4 is equal to negative 1. Oh boy. And that was just question number 8, so we have 2 more questions. Question number 9 is f of x is equal to the natural log of x plus 4x squared plus 41, and we need to find f prime of 1. So first of all, we have to differentiate this function. We need to find f prime of x, and then we can plug in 1. So f prime of x. Now let's just use our derivative rules. So the derivative of natural log of x is just 1 over x plus 4x squared. We know the power rule, so we carry the exponent, and then we subtract minus 1. So we get the derivative of 4 times 2, which is 8x to the power 2 minus 1, which is to the power 1, which you don't write to the power 1, so plus 8x. And then, of course, we see here we have a constant, and the derivative of a constant is always 0. And as such, f prime of x is equal to 1 over x plus 8x. So, now all we have to do is plug in 1 and plug in 1. And so we get f prime of 1 is equal to 1 over 1 plus 8 times 1, which comes out to 1 plus 8, which comes out to 9, and such f prime of 1 is equal to 9. Damn, it's been it's been 14 minutes, and we're not even done. And keep in mind we're trying to beat auto. So yeah, 9. Um, okay, on to question number 10, which is a simultaneous equation, and we have, that looks absolutely horrendous. I didn't make it much better. We have 5a minus 3b is equal to 9, and then we have 3a plus 2b is equal to 13, and then we have a plus b is equal to what, and we want to find a plus b. So, so this is what we have, and I'm gonna start by doing this. We're gonna have 5a minus 3b. Then we're gonna add 1.5 times 3a plus 2b. Now I know I know the math is gonna end up a bit messy, but I just want to isolate one of the variables. And so numerically this is gonna end up as 9 plus 1.5 times 13, which is about 1.5 times 13 is 19.5, and you add 9, so 28.5. And so we have 5a minus 3b plus 1.5 times 3a plus 2b. 2b, that's going to be equal to 28.5. So let's simplify this. I'm just going to end up with 5a minus 3b plus 1.5 times 3a, which is 4.5a, and then plus 1.5 times 2b, which is 3b, is equal to 28.5. Now, negative 3 and plus 3b are going to cancel, and so we get 5a plus 4.5a, which is 9.5a is equal to 28.5, or a is equal to 28.5 over 9.5. And I'm going to allow myself to use the calculator for that because I cannot be bothered to do it. I'm sure it turns out nicely. So 28.5 divided by 9.5, that's equal to 3. So that's equal to 3. Now, the great thing about simultaneous equations is that now we can just plug in our value. And so, we can plug it in, for example, our 3a plus 2b equals 13, and we can plug in a equals 3, which gives 3 times 3 plus 2b equals 13, 9 plus 2b equals 13, subtract 9 from 13, you get 2b equals 4, divide both sides by 2, and you get b equals 2. And so your answer is going to be a equals 3, b equals 2, and thus a plus b is equal to 3 over 2 is equal to 5. So, there's our answer. A plus b is equal to 5. We've finally done the math in advance, because I'm not going to go through this and die a bunch. You don't actually get a lot of time to look at them, so I decided to go do this in advance. And I thought a nice compromise would be just having to do the math myself separately, and then just play this. So this is an auto, and it has a lot of dislikes. Bam. Let's do this. Let's play Mathematics by Spawn. I've written the answers down. The answer to the first question is 5, which we went through. We went through all these. And then the second question is 36. So, now this question 3, the answer is 175. Question 406,000. We did the math, we don't have to do it again. Okay, x negative 1, x 5. So this one, and then it is 1, negative 1, and I, and negative I. Question number 7, this should be negative 7. We're going to take everything and do this. So that's how we're looking at negative 1. I like to give it a little bit more time to it's difficult. And then the 9. This one is 9. So 9. And the last question here, now we're kind of taking this presentation. There we go. We've defeated Auto. That took a while. That took a lot of effort for 1 star. But yeah, Mathematics by Spawn. I'm gonna like that because I don't mind math. No. So yeah, Mathematics by Spawn.